तो Zaheer, ये लीग का बताएं कि आप like how do you feel being associated with this league as a owner?
Well, like I mentioned, it's a very exciting phase for everyone in Belgium because we've seen these kind of leagues, if done well, is definitely going to nurture the grassroots level talent. So it's about giving them the right kind of exposure and experience to fast track their journey of making it big. I think the associate nation cricket we've seen is growing at a rapid pace globally. With T20 format also, we've seen a lot of the teams are getting added to the ICC World Cup tournaments. So I think the whole objective is to uplift the cricket in this region, and this is going to be the right kind of a league with that regard. To give them exposure of spending time and quality of cricket, the quality of players which will be playing in this league is definitely going to give them that exposure and understanding what is it going to take for them to be making the impact at a higher level.
Where you, on the stage you mentioned that there will be a better balance between bat and ball. That is what we can expect in Europe. So you don't see that balance in IPL.
No, what I was talking about was the fact that in European conditions we've seen the pitches provide that balance, right? Like you'll have overcast conditions, the ball is going to swing. At that stage, bowlers always have something to play with. So if the pitches are like that, you will see the balance.
Would you
maybe
like to see better balance?
No, I mean I'm very happy to see that bowlers are coming back in a tournament like IPL right now. You're seeing some low scores. You've seen 155 games also being defended. You've seen team getting all out for 76. So I think aggression and the right kind of approach is working out. So the teams are having good balance in bowling, are making that impact in this tournament.
Hussain Khan, you found him impressive left-arm fast bowler, yet to make his debut, but took a fiver recently.
Yeah, he's been down and out with injuries, isn't it, for a while.
Yeah.
So it's great to see him that he's coming back. It's about how he makes the impact, right? The skill is there. The fitness has to be backed properly for him, because we've seen last 2-3 seasons he's been a stop and start. I think for him it's about playing more and more matches.
Vaibhav is ready for that big opportunity.
But there are plenty of them. I think it's very difficult to single out one person. I would say it's been a very, very good platform for a lot of them. I think what I'm really excited about is someone like Prince also, who's doing so well, who's put in all the hard work in the last year. Weber also, the name which you mentioned. You've seen some new upcoming talent in Abhishek as well. You've seen Praful Inge as well, making that kind of impact. Saqib Hussain. So I think there are a lot of bowlers which is using this platform to showcase their talent and making the impact. I think that's something which is very exciting.
What is it
But what
about?
about somebody like Jasprit Bumrah who had a fantastic T20 World Cup, at the same time he is not kind of he's been able to contain the batters, but at the same time not getting as many wickets as are expected of him.
Just 2 in 7 games.
I think that's the kind of season he's having. As a bowler, you can go through these phases. It doesn't make you a bigger or a smaller bowler. It's just about the phase which you are talking about, and he's aware of it. It's still 7 games to go for them. Yeah, so there's still plenty of time for him to turn things around. You've seen what kind of capability he has.
Zach, what is it about Vaibhav that he goes after even the big names right from the first ball? Pat Cummins, or you take any of the big names, Jasprit Bumrah twice, so many of them. What is it about him? That
I think ability,
ability,
and confidence.
15 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a special talent, right? Like someone who is not carrying any baggage, just approaching the game in the most purest form, seeing the ball, hitting the ball, and having that kind of talent and ability to be able to do that consistently. And that's the exciting part about someone like Vaibhav Suryavanshi when you watch him. It's just going out there and enjoying the game.
Does Bhuvi deserve a comeback? Does Bhuvi deserve a comeback the way he's bowling right now, Bhuvaneshwar?
Well, it's great to see that he's coming up with such performances. I'm sure he must be thinking in those lines. IPL we've seen has been a platform for many to be able to showcase, and Bhuvi certainly has shown that this season so far. It's just about finishing strong. I think we've seen things happen post IPL, so why not?
That would be your advice for somebody like Akcel, sensation in Ranji Trophy, but IPL still. So what will be your advice for somebody like Akcel?
Well, just keep doing what you've been doing. I think that is something which is very important. Also, it's to do with opportunities, right? Like it's a very complicated scenario that way. But I think for anyone who is playing IPL, such a platform, such a format, it's just about being ready to grab those opportunities.
Finally,
IPL,
your
T20 cricket, just one.
4 teams for the playoffs in this IPL.
Well, I think the top 4 which are there right now is consolidating the table, I would say.
One last question. That is, overall, by and large, T20 cricket is so very lopsided in favor of the batsman. Do you think it would be better if the boundaries are pushed about 10 years back to strike a balance?
So we have to build new stadiums. That has to be consistent throughout. It's whatever it is. You've seen that in IPL the boundaries are for all the matches and all the grounds, right? So there are protocols in place. I think if there is a scope of increasing the boundary line, that dimension, if you want to leave it to the franchise, if some grounds are big and they want to do that and home and away adds a different layer, then that something is definitely open for the debate. But I would say maybe like how there's been an impact sub rule, maybe you can look at giving one bowler 5 overs or maybe 2 bowlers 5 overs is something which they can look at, since you've moved on from creating a balance of having a good bowlers bowling extra overs in the match.